on Augie. Dang it. Almost a smooth intro. Hey guys, welcome back to the Anime Collector, and welcome back to the OCA Podcast. That's the Open Chest Anime Podcast with me, the Anime Collector, and my co-host, Don Jobo Augie.
Hello, and I, Footnum. New York Ariel.
New York and hour. FDDNM. Anyway, all right. So let's see. We've got a couple opening discussions. Augie, do you want to do the? Do you want to ask your question from the hashtag OCA Podcast question from like 3 podcasts ago now?
Oh yeah, I would love to, but I need to see it first.
Okay, I guess I'll throw you that link real quick. It's in the Twitter moment that I organized for this podcast. I love how Twitter says I have 0 moments, but I've actually got 4, and they're all published. I don't know why Twitter's just failing real hard right now. Dang it!
Important enough.
I found an article I wanted to talk about, and I just overwrote the copy in my clipboard. I was about to add it to the thing, but I had to get this for Augie. All right, here's the chat here. There you go, Augie. There's the Twitter moment. So just scroll down. It should be towards the top. Yeah. Okay. So just for the record, Twitter's been completely broken in the moment thing. So when we do finally go through OgBuster, this is going to be just a nightmare of not organized, even though I did like a remarkably good job organizing it.
It's probably going to go like, yeah, I thought the ending was great. And then it's going to start at the
pretty much. Pretty much. It's going to be something similar to that. Anyway, I'm going to add this other article real quick, and then we're going to jump into the opening discussions. Unless Augie, you want to go ahead and do that with the question there.
Well, I would go to the question, but the question isn't loading.
It was about the home theaters.
Oh yeah. Oh. Okay, guys, are you a fan of private theaters? If so, what's your ideal /stream theater in settings like an apartment, a house, or metal building, with sound not being an issue?
I mean, if I wasn't a fan of home theaters, I wouldn't have one myself. So, if that answers your question.
Yeah, but the ideal situation, given those 3 different living situations.
Dude, I've actually come to think of it. I've got a great answer to this question.
Oh yeah, you tweeted that one.
Well, it's not the tweet. It's actually something that just popped up on. I put it on the Anime Collector page. It was something I saw on Facebook. Let me pull it up real quick. I tried to share it to the podcast group because that gets more feedback usually than the actual page. But it's, you know, how the sharing settings, sometimes you just can't share things to certain platforms, like because Facebook, like Twitter, is total crap lately. Let's see. I shared it this morning. It's got to be here. Oh, I forgot that I deleted all these tweets from Anime Planet auto tweeting to my account, and I didn't remove them from the fact that my tweets automatically get posted to the Facebook page. All right, so I'm going to share this for you guys. So this person has a wine cellar. Check this out.
Oh my god.
So to answer your question on what I think about home theaters, I mean, obviously this is way too small, but this is what I want for my future location where I'll be housing the permanent place of my anime collection. I want to have something like this that's very well hidden. Go down there, anime collection wall to wall, and in the middle, in between, like there'll be a split between the bookcases, and have like a movie theater thing there. But to my original answer was Beauty and the Beast style bookcases, you know, like the library they had, but put the home theater in the middle of that. That would be my ideal situation. All right, so I've got the articles all fixed up for the articles later. I got
All
the
right.
docking all fixed up for it.
Second question. When someone screws up, is that when someone loosens a screw from the ground or someone tightening a screw onto the ceiling?
I'm sorry, but that's a really dumb question.
People need to know when they screwed up.
Thank you for
There's a philosophy
enlightening
behind
us.
it. Thank you for stalling. But now I'm going to get into the important stuff. You guys feel free to answer that question in the chat. So the first thing I want to discuss
down here.
Say what? Oh yeah. Let me try.
We got an important new comment that says Beauty and the Beast library would be dope. And
yeah, because we've got Foodnum on here, we gotta I gotta remove the little videos at the bottom for the final version of the thing. All right, so there's a couple things. First of all, first thing I want to mention is that YouTube is working really hard to catch up to Twitch in the live streaming capabilities. And we actually have a new app that we can add, like a sort of widget to the live stream that allows us to take viewer calls. So we could actually, like a radio show, we could take calls at a certain segment, and it would give us a number that you guys could call. We could answer the call. We haven't tested it out yet. We just want to know if anybody's interested in doing this. But that's an option that we actually have, where we could have people call in off their phone, and we could answer the calls on air during our stream. So
the more you describe it, the more it sounds like public access TV. That's
basically what it is. So now the actual topics that I want to get through is first of all, YouTube going through some BS right now. There's a little bit of a YouTube purge in the last couple weeks. I'm just curious if any of the channels you guys follow have been nixed off of YouTube. The other thing that I want to bring up is regarding the super chat, and this is just sort of a PSA. First of all, any money that is sent to us is appreciated, but I just want to make sure that it's clear to everybody that super chat, turns out Google takes 30% of that. So if you were to send us, let's just say like $10,000, we'd only get 7,000 of it, and Google would take 3,000. So just so you know where your money's going, if you want to fund the channel, I went and sort of looked into everything and found out that the absolute best way to do it is usually going to be through PayPal. And the reason why is because PayPal has, I think it's 2.9% plus 30 cents per transaction is what PayPal takes. And Patreon takes 5%. So theoretically, PayPal is always going to be the best way to do it, so long as you're contributing more than like $14.16. I think that's around where it is, maybe 22 cents, somewhere around there, is where it converges, right? The 2.9 plus 30 cents and the 5%, it converges right around that rate. But the thing is that if you're hooked into Patreon through PayPal, it's 5% plus the 2.9 plus 30 cents per transaction that's being removed. So the absolute best way to help fund any channel is probably going to be through PayPal. But I think that no channel is going to turn down cash if it's easier for you to send it through a super chat or hook in through Patreon or something. That's obviously going to be beneficial no matter what. So I just want to make sure you guys knew before we went through and sort of if anybody wanted to send super chats, I just want to make sure that you guys knew that Google actually takes a staggering 30% of it. So anyway, Reese says PayPal has a friend-to-friend transaction where no charge is taken. Actually, I think I can't remember if it's the sending end or the receiving end, but there is a transaction charge. PayPal definitely has, basically no matter what you do. If you're selling an item, you get it. They just take it out before the money gets to you. If you're sending money, they take it out in addition to what you're sending or whatever. So there is a fee. I don't think there's a way to do friend to friend without the fee.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Yeah, I don't think any donation thing is set up to friend.
Yeah. So that's regarding the Super Chat PSA. And then to segue into pickups, let me go ahead and pull up this tweet from Discotech. Let me get that ready. My mouse disappeared. There it is. Okay. So Discotech, somebody had asked Discotech, they said, so I've ordered the Urusei Yatsura movie, but I wanted to ask if you plan to release the series as well, or are you waiting to see how this release does in terms of numbers? Discotech replied, we get this question a lot. We don't have access to the rest of Urusei Yatsura at the moment. We only have the rights to the one movie, but we'll definitely consider acquiring more of the Urusei Yatsura entries if they're available, as long as Beautiful Dreamer fares well. So, Augie, why don't you go ahead and take it away?
Alrighty. You have to get out and lock me in.
Lock you
Lock
in? Yeah.
Alrighty. So
you're locked in.
Alrighty. So for those who have already, like me, own this movie, which is
a beautiful movie.
Oh yes, which is Oshi's first director debut. So according to them, if you purchase this, they're waiting to see the numbers that will come from the sales in order to, well, you can get the whole series without having 60 plus DVDs of this one series. Instead, it can be all either all in one or 3 box sets like it should be. So along with this, I also got the Blu-ray copy as well. So it's not much.
Augie's doing his part.
I'm doing my part. This one's like 15 at the moment. This is like 20 at the moment. Luckily, I have
with the DVDs more
birthdays right now.
Is the DVD more? FDDNM
he said 20 for the. He said
Blu-ray.
Yeah, he had them crossed. He confused himself. That's all right. Keep going. This is the kind of nonsense that keeps these podcasts going for 5 hours.
Ooh.
All right, so pickups.
All right, continuing on from the Funimation sale, I got 3 titles, 2 that's been on my list to watch, and 1 that I've already watched. First one starting up is The Rolling Girls. Ooh. Follow up after that is Elgalia and the Sacred Stars, which I've been looking forward to this one for a bit, just like Matsuya from this past Christmas sale. This was the rival show for the time. I believe when this first aired, it aired like the first 4 episodes, stopped, then delayed it a couple of seasons, then went back to add a character and better the animation quality to finish this series. So I'm not sure if it includes those 4 episodes or not, but this was pretty interesting when it was coming out. Up next is the first season of New Game! ! I
want to get that. I hear it's good.
Oh yeah, it makes workforce mitigation fun. Ooh. Story, we follow this high schooler who just, graduated high school and now is working in the video game field, and she works with all these other ladies in this all-female video game production.
Video game Shirobako. Got it.
Yeah, those are usually safe things to watch. Up next and last on the Blu-ray is Tales of Vesperia. I think I lost this one a while back ago due to an event, but
you also lost the slipcase, it looks like.
Well, as much as I paid for it, I don't really mind. And coming up next is people grow up with a lot of things, but there's some people who grow up with Hello Kitty. Boom, boom, boom. And for those trying to complete the ADV catalog, I have no idea where this belongs, since A&N has disorganized any of the catalog viewing of Hello Kitty in general. So I don't know if I own this a second time or not. And following that, something a little sweet and something for those of you who've watched Welcome to the NHK. For some reason, the Pudding Girl character is always the craze, and I believe I have the reason why for Sex Warrior Pudding.
Is that the thing
DVDs
that
1
you
and
were
2.
going to show me yesterday, but I think you forgot?
No, that's the thing that he was keeping you in the darkness.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
I didn't forget. Larry Flint wouldn't forget either.
He was determining whether or not it was worth showing on stream.
Yeah. Also, for later, I finally got the 10-pack of Noir. And we'll cover this a little bit. Pack. Yeah, thinner than most people.
Only if I could like buy sleeves that fit that size, like the one you have there. I'm sure that was included.
It's what? It's taped over. What they did was they took
you stick it in there, then you match it to the size, and then you fold it over.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, that's how Book Off does it.
Yeah, so what they used was some sort of comic cover.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Ooh, so life is always a fiesta, as I finally got the complete. Damn it!
Oh gosh, dang it! I'm dealing with the chat removing my words again. It just changed fee. That's supposed to say fee. Brand new fee. Oh God, I hate.
Feel free to test out the sending PayPal.
He sent me an image on the podcast group. It says it's a screenshot of PayPal. It says sending to a friend, no fee to use bank or balance to send to friends and family in the USA. So I was saying, if you want to test it out, feel free to send money to me. And I gave him my email to send it to me. But I'm pretty sure there is a fee, because every time I bought anything off of a Facebook group and I send somebody money using that exact method, there's always been a little bit of an extra charge. Otherwise, I just have them invoice me.
Isn't that the charge for the seller or whatever?
Well, when you do friend to friend, which is what he's talking about, where you send money to loved ones, that is a way for the person who is selling it to have you take on the cost instead of them. I should probably not have it stuck on Augie doing his hair.
I've never ran into this charge while ever paying people through PayPal with that.
Well, it depends. If they invoice you and you reply to the invoice and pay, then they pay the fee. If they ask you to send them the cash, even if you do it friend to friend, I have always had to have to pay a little bit extra to cover the processing fee. So maybe this is a brand new policy that they've just worked out with banks or something. I don't know, but I'm just suggesting that every time I've had to do it, it's always had a fee. So you
go back to my Salsa de Domingo.
Sure.
What?
All right. Up next is the complete series of Goo Hair.
You got the complete?
Yes, I got it complete. See, they're looking at you.
Too bad you can't open that one. Is that a brand new one?
No, that looks like it's.
Is it also wrapped? Yeah, same thing.
Still,
did they release a complete version of it? I don't think they did.
Or did they? What are you talking about?
Well, Harigu. I've had these for a while.
There's Harigu and Harigu Deluxe, which is what he's holding right now.
Well, no, I mean like the complete box set, like art box and every single volume in one package.
You mean
like an official?
No, they have the TV series in one box.
No. He's saying because the art box was sold with the wig, and he's asking, did they sell a box set version? Because a lot of times they do the Augie, the hair that you keep pulling over needs to go to the other side of your head. That's why it keeps coming back down. What he's suggesting is that when they would sell the art box with volume 1 and it would come with a special bonus item, later on down the line, they would just stick the DVDs in there, shrink wrap it, and sell it as the complete series. And they would put a sticker on the bottom over the barcode with a new barcode number that would be the number you'd get charged for that, instead of it being the lower number of just volume 1 plus art box price.
Mm-hmm.
Is what he's asking. So I don't know. I think I got mine that way, but because mine didn't come with a wig either, but I might have bought it used. I can't remember.
Well, I was asking that because you said, is that sealed? But I was thinking, no, it can't be sealed because there's no complete up. But anyway, yeah.
I got number 1,000 out of 5,000.
Oh, is there a number on the bottom?
Oh, actually, yeah, that's a pretty good number to get.
I don't know why the number matters. They're all being printed at the same time.
I just realized there's a tear in my art box.
Mine
has a small tear right here. I have to get a new art box for it. You can barely see it. Like
Right Stuff still has them in stock, pretty sure, for like $7.
I have number 3,131 out of 5,000.
I'm not gonna bother looking for mine because it's irrelevant, like the number.
So the lesson to be learned here: if you want a higher number, buy stuff from Mexico.
Do you want? You still got more? Okay,
I still got more.
Go ahead. Sorry.
So up next is Nura, Rise of the Yokai Clan 1 and 2.
I have 3 over here. Do you have 3?
He's probably getting to that.
And
is there like tape on the side?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there's tape on the side. Ooh. So got these. Apparently, there's some sort of censorship issue that I'm not familiar with. I've been trying to look it up, but I can't find it. So
is it like a Yu-Gi-Oh localization type thing, or what?
Apparently, they showed the TV censorship for one of the releases, and they had to go back and re-release it again with it being uncensored, from what I've heard.
Oh yeah, that's what he said. Yeah. So a Sankare.
Yeah. By the way, just so that we can address it, hey, look, FDDNM has a webcam.
Ooh, and it's like 720p, 19 frames a second.
It actually looks a lot better than it did during our test stream.
That's so weird.
See, we're going to a lot of extremes to try to get this voiceover for some red screen and have this actor come in just to lip sync to the voice.
Augie's making a joke that's not actually FDDNM.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
And we'd never know if he was actually fooling us. Anyway,
yeah, I'm catfishing.
Still, there's more. What fighters do you like? Well, I definitely don't like this one because it's Virtual Fighter.
I love Virtual Fighter. Have you watched that yet?
I haven't watched it. I've been dying to. As you can see, it's
I am so sad that they didn't dub the whole thing.
They
didn't release the whole thing.
Oh, I was going to say, they only dubbed part of it? What?
It's 24 episodes. How many episodes were there?
I think there's 36. 24 is definitely not the end because I remember them canceling it. They might have dubbed the whole thing and just only released it on VHS.
Okay.
But
the only reason I say I don't mind playing it, don't get me wrong. The only reason I say I don't like it is I don't like playing a different version of chess, really.
What is that supposed to mean?
Virtua Fighter is a more strategic fighting game.
Okay, but the anime is just an anime.
Yeah.
So it's like the Tekken anime, the Street Fighter anime.
Hopefully it's not a bunch of look at me. It has more plot than that. I hope so, with it being 24 episodes.
Well, I've talked about this before, but the thing about it that I thought was so funny, or like the reason I was enjoying it, is they have this thing literally at the end. It's either at the end of every episode or the commercial break, or they're like
they say things that end with shun.
End with able, like her move is unstoppable, right? Unfathomable. And at first it was really gimmicky and stupid, but by the end I was like, I can't believe how many words they've come up with that actually fit. Like, and I was just impressed by the end. It was really funny because it just like the gag kept going on. It's like when I was watching Wedding Peach, and at the beginning I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe they made a whole show, a whole magical girl show that revolves around the idea of weddings. Like, that's the theme. And then by the end of it, it's like, holy crap, I can't believe they pulled off a whole show that revolves around the weddings. You know, it's just one of those things where it gets impressive after a while, just that the gimmick they were let's say that they were willing to stick it out that long, you know.
But wait, AC, there's more. As what you probably have as well, I finally got to the Midnight Ranma of Cinderella Boy.
I was thinking Brad has to get that because it looks like Lupin, because I think it's the same.
Well, yeah, same creator. And ironically, this was made before, not the animation, but the manga was made before Ranma 1/2. So,
for the record, it's right here. It is in my pickups.
Oh, don't spoil.
Augie already spoiled
this. Well, I'll spoil this much. And last but not least, I finally got Bubblegum Crash, which I believe for next time we're going to be watching Bubblegum Crisis.
Yes.
But that comes first. I think.
Yeah, this is. Yeah, I have. Yes.
So why are we watching the second one?
I have the Bubblicious one right here.
I don't think you need to watch Total Crash to enjoy Bubblegum Crisis, but if you guys want to, feel free to before the next podcast.
From what I understand, this takes place first before this.
Oh.
Are we going to be watching all the music videos and stuff too?
Why not?
Okay.
At that point, why not?
All right.
What is next?
And next I have to share is
next you destroy your collection.
Aggressive. I didn't know they made a non-purple flavor.
But for the record, right here, this is where.
That's where it says the
1,000 out of 5,000.
You know what? It's funny that you bring that up because remember I was just talking about how when they sell the it's a sticker on top of the barcode. Hold on. It's a sticker on top of the barcode.
Okay.
It's exactly what I was describing. So I'm going to suggest that they did sell it as a box set separate from the other thing I was talking about.
Wow.
Anyway.
I need to look that up.
FDDNM, you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. I don't have as many as I did last time, but I'll make it work.
All right.
So, which one wants to go first? Probably the worst one.
For a second, I thought your shirt was actually your YouTube logo.
I was about to say my logo.
Yeah.
So I got the limited edition of Hetalia painted white, whatever, because I'm slowly counting down all the Funimation limited editions I want. I want to get them all. This was next because it was only like $20, but it doesn't have the bandanas. It has this little. I think you can see that like a. Whatever.
I didn't realize there was a. Did they just recently release that? Because I have this one.
No. This one's really old.
Okay, I have this one. I didn't realize there was like a limited edition one.
They're garbage. Don't even bother.
I'm already like I'm annoyed with Hetalia because I feel like I don't want to collect
it's a short series.
Because it's like here, I'll show you why. This is so obnoxious.
The first two aren't limited, and then 3 to 5 are limited.
I don't mind the series so much. It's kind of calming to say the word Hetalia and there's no screams in the background.
Season 1 and 2. Oh, and then here's just season 3 on its own, and it's like
no.
All of these have a different type of.
Stop right there.
All of these. Go ahead.
There is a separate season 1 and separate season 2. I own there. Yeah.
Okay,
that's just they're like whatever.
I'm annoyed that now and then there's the paint it white, which has the slip cover, and I'm just annoyed with this series.
They all have slip covers.
Isn't it up to like season 6 now?
You're killing me. Do they really all have slip covers?
Yeah, my season 1 and 2 have slip covers, and then I have 3 and 4, which have the slip cases for the limiteds, which are garbage because they were water damaged. But I got a refund, whatever. So yeah, it's paper slip cases for the limited editions, so that's disappointing enough. But then it comes with bandanas, but you're never going to get the bandanas secondhand. I've gotten 3 limited edition things out of them, and none of them had bandanas. But hey, I like this because it keeps the integrity, and I don't care about the bandanas, so whatever.
Sounds like you're going bananas for bandanas.
Like, I have 2 Funimation limited editions. They're in really botched condition, but I'm like, you know what? I technically have them now. I don't care. Like, I'm going to replace them whenever I find one that's magically really cheap. So, next, I got Arcadia of My Youth because I noticed it was like $24 or something. I think it was like more than that before. Last time I saw it, like $40. And yeah. Oh, and to address the thing that I was saying before, I think I saw that it said on the back that it was 16:9/4:3 or something. That's just because it comes with the SD 4:3 version on the disc as well as the 16:9. Let's see. Next, I got Noreen. I got this one. It was a Funimation. Was it Funimation discounted item, whatever, on Amazon, and this one wasn't in stock, so it just finally came in stock and they shipped it. I had to send it back because it was pretty. No, that's the one that got lost, and I had to wait yet again.
I'm glad you got that. That's a series that I reviewed.
I love that series.
Oh yeah,
kinda, because like the agricultural thing, I don't like it in real life, but in anime, for some reason, I really connect with it because like I'm on a farm and all that crap. But yeah, and then we got Gundam Unicorn, which just came today. I'm so glad I don't have to buy like 7 individual volumes or whatever. No, I think it was 3 to get the complete thing. Urusei Yatsura, beautiful dreamer. What a coincidence. I finally have a piece of Urusei Yatsura. And I instantly, like, because of that thing you said at the beginning of the podcast, I told my brother, get it so we can get Urusei Yatsura TV series. Okay.
But not the DVD.
I don't know. He can get whatever the thing it is. So then we got Bungo Stray Dogs, just because it's a funny Ellie and it's a thin one. To my disappointment,
how's the bordering? Is it thick or is it thin? Because it kind of similar to the Gurren Lagann limited edition movies.
And it's also like mildly textured, so I like that as well. Kind of like the next one that I'm about to show you, the Gangsta limited edition. Blah blah blah. Which, like, all of these Funimation. What?
That was... The title is literally Gangsta, period.
Yeah, period.
Like your name.
I had it set up. I thought you had a title, and I had it set up for it to be revealed, but you showed the wrong one. Oh, well.
The wrong one. But, yeah, all these Funimation titles I got not exclusively because they were cheap, but because they reduced the prices for some reason. Brothers Conflict. It's another LE that was on the list, whatever. I chose the LEs based on what the used prices were, or the third-party sellers, because all of these are kind of going out of print or whatever. Mm-hmm. So when you see that the third parties are charging like $80 or $90, you know that as soon as Amazon runs out, that you are screwed. So that's why I picked these up. And the next one I kind of wanted in general because it's three spaces wide. The Rage of the Bahamut Genesis.
Oh, that's a fun one.
And see that nice 3 wide. And yeah, glad I got that off my plate. This is the most
on the table.
I don't have a table. It's a little container thing. This is the most regrettable pickup. The Dragonar Academy. Can I show this on stream? Yeah. The Dragonar Academy limited edition.
It's just hot dogs.
Do either of you have this?
No.
It's on my bucket list, but
well, let me tell you this before you get it. It's a plastic. Oh, I'm way too close to the mic. It's a plastic slip case, so it's way too easy to scuff up. And the thing is, you can see the Blu-ray thing right through it because on the Amazon cover art, it has a red strip like how it shows right here. But what the hell is this? And it's on the back side. Notice how it's on the wrong side. That's even worse. And the only thing you get besides this plastic flimsy piece of crap slipcase that can easily get corner damage, which I'm lucky to not get, is little art cards. That's it. You're paying like $5 more just to get that. I think the standard edition would actually be nicer to have, but
well, at least you're not spending twice as much for that.
I know that's why I got it, because I'm like, I don't want to pay like $80 for that.
One factor you're not including with that particular release, since it's a thin plastic.
It's also thin
on heat. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's in Canada, so he doesn't have to worry about the heat.
Yes.
So when it's shrinking cold.
Actually, you know what? Last time on FDDNM's cold snap situation, it was -3, and it's -2 now. It's so hot. Like, Jesus, I'm dying here. That's why I'm wearing shorts. And then
the other time you said it was -4.
No, I said it was -3. But
can't wait till Satan shows up and asks you to.
Oh no! So my last anime for the day is the Imperfect Collection. Like I was telling these two yesterday, I got this from my favorite seller ever. It was only $25, so I'm like, okay, either it's going to be completely wrecked and destroyed, and I'll get it for free, and it'll suck, or I'll get lucky and it will be in great condition, which is what ended up happening. So $25.
Right on.
And my final pickup of the day and my only manga pickup of the podcast is To Love or Darkness, Volume 3. I'm pre-ordering all of them because I love my To Love Ru.
All right. You all set?
Yes.
Okay, so first I want to address real quick. Reese says Funimation has stated that they were going to change all their limited editions to the thin ones with a few exceptions. Me. Well, I want to address this because I predicted a couple podcasts ago that there was not only that, but I predicted the limited edition bubble, the premium edition bubble that I felt was starting to reach critical mass, specifically with Sentai. Because Sentai, I think it was inflating it a lot more, but I feel like this is probably indicative of that issue, that companies were starting to realize that this wasn't going to last, and they're having to scale back to a more profitable range of producing things. So I'm just going to say that I feel like that's what's going on. So I'm going to go ahead and do my pickups now. You guys ready for them?
No, I'm not ready.
Right. Too bad. So here's what I've got. First off, I bought. Okay, so I've been trying to get some art boxes for shows that I've had for the longest time and haven't gotten around to getting the art boxes. So every once in a while, I take note of it and I just look online and see what's available. Yeah. And in this case, I was looking for Tsukihime, and I found the cheapest version I could get because I already had the whole show. I just needed the art box, and the cheapest version I could get was to buy a bundle for dirt cheap that came with all the stuff. So it came with Tsukihime Volume 1 and the art box, which I already put my other copies in. By the way, look at the Junion's missing from the last disc there.
At least the numbers are sequential.
Yeah, it's at the top still, so it's okay, but I'm just saying. Anyway, so the other things that came with it were a bootleg for Naruto Movie 5. Let's see. A volume of Spiral. Right? A volume of Get Backers. Ex-Driver, the show, right? Full Metal Alchemist Conqueror of Shambhala, which is actually out of print and a little bit like this is another thing. I already had it, but not upset about having another copy of that. Tokyo Underground Awakening. This is just one volume of Tokyo Underground, and probably like my 100th copy of Tenchi, the movie. Because this for some reason, every time I buy a bundle, it feels like this comes with it. So there's that.
You're really scaling back on the complete collections there.
Say what?
Really scaling back on the complete collections there.
Because now I have all these individual DVDs I gotta
make a coffee table out of. Yeah.
All right. So when I first started the channel, I was also trying to. Okay. Sorry, I got a tweet notification from Dakota Broski. I thought it was podcast related for a second, and I realized it probably wasn't. Anyway, so when I first started the channel, there were a couple shows that I was missing like a volume or two of back in 2014. So I actually went out and I bought a bunch of stuff, and I got it for dirt cheap. Like that was a really good time to make that decision to buy that stuff, because a lot of that stuff's not dirt cheap anymore. But one of the items I bought was Volume 3 of Fist of the North Star. And the version that I got has this SMV, which stands for Sony. I don't know what the V stands for, but it says Sony Music Entertainment on the bottom. So SMB, and I believe I looked this up when I first got it, because I noticed when I put it in with the rest of the volumes that it had something the other ones didn't. I believe I looked this up, and that this is actually a Canadian, like the Canadian release. And on another one, I think that I had that had SMB on it, or no, that was something else we were talking about behind the scenes. It actually had the Canadian like TV 14 Canada thing. But anyway, I rebought this so that I could get one without it. And I got this for dirt cheap, so I was really lucky.
Wait, you rebought one so you could get it without this SMV?
Without the SMV thing, so that it matches the rest of them. And actually, okay. just for the record, they actually have because I know that not a lot of collectors actually care about this, but I do. The barcodes are different.
Oh yeah.
So this is the non-SMV one. So this barcode is more sequential to the other ones. Anyway. In addition, some pre-orders I got came in, along with Cinderella Boy, from the creator of Lupin the Third, Attack on Titan Season 2, and Right Stuff Burned Me. There's a tear underneath the shrink wrap. So that kind of sucks. And then a bunch of stuff I got from Amazon. So I got Last Exile, because I've had the other show for forever, and I just hadn't gotten around to getting this one.
Last Erectile.
Oh God! There's in Last Exile. There's if you screen cap it at just the right moment, the guy's in a cockpit and he's holding the the joystick, and it's a lot of the shots are positioned down below the joystick, and it looks like he's grabbing his junk.
I remember that show being played on Tech TV.
You can get the limited edition for $40 on Amazon.com.
For
It's like $1 billion. Yeah, it's like $1 billion on .ca.
That's why I got it. That's why I got it, because it's real cheap. So I also ordered this, and of course Amazon does not care about how much money they're going to spend on return shipping labels, because they sent me this one, and it's destroyed in the corner. So I'm like, "Yo, dog, this not cool with me. Please send me another one." They sent me another one. It's even worse by a long shot. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's so bad. Like, this is
just
disgusting.
Need to shave.
So I need to order another replacement. Luckily, the replacements are free as long as you send back the ones that you claimed were damaged. I also got Gosick 2. I didn't realize there was a 2 until FDDNM had brought it up. So I'm glad that he brought that up, because I went and looked. This one I'm probably going to ask them to replace as well, just because I feel like they could do better on that.
My God, you would not accept like half of the Funimation titles I got last month.
I know, but you're in Canada, so you have to live with it. I don't. I just have to go to the UPS store, drop it off, and then
no. I got return. I can return it as easy as you can. Like for the Amazon ones, it's just I'm too lazy to, and it's not major a problem for me.
I've seen Ren and Stimpy. I know what your postal service is like. You have to use the Canadian Yaksmith Mounties.
Yaksmith Mountie.
All right, back to my pickups. So I purchased a replacement for the really junked up one that I got from Right Stuff for this guy. So that'll be better. This is dirt cheap on Amazon right now, the Blu-ray for Cowboy Bebop the movie.
Is that still from Sony?
Yeah.
Well, it's from Image
the same.
Entertainment, but yeah. Sony Pictures, yeah.
Okay.
And then I picked up this is forgot why I picked this up. I think this might have been the first anime Blu-ray, Legend of the Millennium Dragon.
Yep, that's right.
That's correct, right? Yeah. And then I think I've already talked about Rage of Bahamut and all that stuff that I had. Did I talk about Yona of the Dawn and Yuri on Ice last podcast? I think I did.
Yuri on Ice, I remember you did. Actually, it might have been Yona of the Dawn as well.
Oh, you know what? I've got. I totally forgot that I actually picked some stuff from the mailbox before the podcast, so I've got that too. Before I get into this last couple things. Oh,
I was supposed to remind you.
It's my replacement for the Last Exile art box, which is also damaged. Now that I remember, now that I've got this one here, I forgot where. I think it's the corner.
Can you show us your examining process?
My examining process.
Corner to corner to corner to corner.
Yeah. You look around the lines on where the corners are, or the corner of the edge, right? So you look down the edge on all sides for tears. Corners, in this case, I think it was a corner that was all junked up, which is why I didn't see. There's some scuffing. I don't know if you guys can see it. There's some scuffing. It's hard to see because the highlight of the of the paper is kind of emphasizing a little bit more than it should, but there's a tear around here, right? So that's why I've chosen to return it back, because it was purchased from Amazon and they'll do that for me. So I'll investigate this one later and determine which one's in better condition, and I'll probably ask them to send me a third one. I can already tell that this Gosick 2 slipcover is not any better than the other one that I asked for, or that I got. So that's going to be a problem. And then I've also got this one here, which I will open. I already know what this one is, just so that FDDNM can't hold it over my head anymore.
Oh yeah, that. Just see, it's all in like
I don't know.
condition.
This very likely could be a bootleg. Well, I don't know. I can't open it.
I didn't say bootleg. I said broken. But hey, I didn't even think of that.
No, I'm suggesting that for the price I got it, the Blu-rays of 12 Kingdoms, all 3 of them. So yeah, make sure these are in decent condition. Appear to be.
Actually, when they're single cases like that, they usually are pretty sturdy.
Yeah, they're pretty hardy. So, can you look at yours and let me know if the 3rd volume is in a thicker Blu-ray case?
I think it is.
I'm pretty sure it would be, because they had to wrap up the final couple episodes. So there's that. I'm going to put this away so I don't let it damage. And then I've got a couple of documentaries here. So I like to have, like we've sort of talked, I think, in the last podcast about how in the beginning of my collection, I got really weird stuff like those How to Duel Yu-Gi-Oh! Classroom card game DVDs. So I've got Jiro Dreams of Sushi, which was a Netflix, or I don't know if it was a Netflix documentary, but it was on Netflix, and I remember seeing it there. So I got a DVD copy of that. Akihabara Geeks I finally picked up. I got this thing called Kintaro Walks Japan. This is some white guy went
Golden
to
Boy
Japan
live action.
No, some white guy went to Japan and made a documentary about his journey there. He mentioned, I should have written it down. It took something like 147 days of being there, and I just think to myself, like, if you're backpacking around Japan, like, I can't imagine filming for 147 days and keeping all that footage. Like, how you got to charge your camera, you got to keep all that stuff charged. You have to archive that footage because your memory card's going to fill up. I just don't know. I'm interested in seeing how that goes. And the last thing I picked up was a documentary called Manga Mad. And the full title is actually Tokyo Otaku, as written in Japanese down here. Manga Mad Tokyo Otaku. This is, well, first of all, I hate this because the spine is going up the wrong way. So that's frustrating. It is from a guy named Ray Castle, and he's actually got a website. I'll pull it up real quick. Raycastle.
Speaking of people living or hiking in the mountains, you're questioning that. However, I can imagine someone who lives in the mountains for a long time, then all of a sudden approaches a studio to propose that he can move to California and create a licensing business.
Well, real quick, this, you can actually watch the documentaries here. I'm bringing this up because he's got a documentary called Moon Shadow, which is about the longest total solar eclipse in the 21st century in Japan, obviously, and one called Tokyo Techno Tribes. I found this one on Amazon Japan. I can't find this one anywhere. I don't know if there's actually a DVD of it. So if anybody knows about it and could send me a tip, that'd be awesome, because I'd like to pick these up and just have them for the collection. So anyway, that is it for my pickups.
Okay, before we move on, I grabbed my 12 Kingdoms, and I don't know, it's a bit minute, but I think my second volume's actually bigger than the other ones.
Which one? Maybe I have them. Maybe I have them in the wrong order. Which one's the second one?
Oh crap! Yeah, I do have them. They all have weird names. The 12 Kingdoms. Yeah,
mine goes 1, 3, 2.
Wind.
Yeah, Sea of the Wind is the second one. So A Great Distance in the Wind, The Sky at Dawn is the third one. So yeah, the second one is the.
It's really hard to tell. Yeah.
Yeah, second one's thicker. All right,
So it's hard
cool.
to tell that it has numbers like right here. They're like the tiniest little slashes or whatever.
Yeah, because they're Roman numeral. All right.
Barely.
So anyway, we're
Looks
done
like
with pickups. You guys ready for? You ready for articles? Everybody.
I hope.
Oh yeah. By the way, the company I was talking about is Viz Media.
Ooh. Before we move on, we need to address some comments.
Yes.
Who is this secret seller? Tell you what, I'll Facebook message you the actual name of it because I don't want the Canadian sellers out there in the podcast, the viewers, to take advantage of them. But I did some really brief research, and it looks like when I go to Amazon.com, they're not on there. So I'm hoping they're Canadian only, so you guys can't leech off my good deals. But a brief description is that they have some out-of-print items and art boxes and stuff. And in my experience, when I get an art box, so it's like Project Blue Earth SOS Volume 2 with art box, I receive it. It comes with all 3 volumes. It comes without a frickin' top, but hey, I get a free, I get full refund. They don't want the item back, so they tell me to keep it. So I have the complete series, and then when I order a cheap replacement that's brand new, I have the whole series now. And in another case, like the Excel Saga, as you saw, it's like, well, I got for only $25 this time, and it was flawless, so I got a good deal there. So that's why I love them.
Actually, that particular box set's not actually that expensive. Just FYI.
Oh, it's not.
It's just hard to get it with. It's hard to get it with the paper sleeve that you were missing.
It's like, well, it's the difference between paying $60 and $25, like I did. But no, they've had some different ones that I've gotten in the past. But I think that covers like most of the bases of that seller. But I like it. It's a bit of a gamble that you might not get a good condition item, but there's like no risk because you can just get the full refund. So yeah. Now, what's the next comments?
Old Man had mentioned regarding Excel Saga that it has 2 subtitle tracks. One includes all the translator notes. So yeah, they have just to address this. I don't know if any future have there been any other releases of Excel Saga? Has it been relicensed?
Yeah, Funimation had it for the longest time. They have
I'm not sure if Funimation included it, but on the ADV release, they actually have like practically every gag that happens on the show is actually a reference to something else. So they have like a note that pops up in the subtitles, and you have to pause. You have to pause like every 2 seconds to catch everything that's happening. But they have a note that pops up that says like when Excel and Pedro do the Garandu, it's a reference to this from back in the 80s kind of, and they have all this stuff that they included because there's just so many puns and whatnot happening in that show that the translation notes are just so extensive that they have to be seen.
They've done the same thing.
Even if you were to have a commentary,
they won't be able to keep up.
Dash. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Even if you did a commentary, you can't talk fast enough to actually explain everything in real time. You know,
it's kind of like
you literally have to pause it and read everything because there's so much information.
Because ADV is like the pre-Sentai, and Sentai is the only company I know of that really does the little notes here and there. Like in Watamote, every time there's a reference, they had the exact same thing like you're describing. They say the reference of what it is.
When I first started collecting anime and like when I was serious about collecting and only watching things that I owned, I still often would get fan subs of the shows that I was buying if I wanted to watch them in Japanese, because I preferred the fan sub version versus the licensed subtitled version, because the fan subs had those interesting little notes about, you know, like in Japanese, like here's what they're saying and here's a note about what that actually means in Japanese, you know, kind of like here's a little sort of behind the scenes, like they specifically chose to use this word rather than this word because in the context they're sort of using this meaning. Like for instance, in Tenjo Tenge, there's a scene where there's something that they do in Japan where they add "o" as an honorific before a word, and some words it's become ubiquitous with the word. Like money is okane, right? So O is actually before it, and it because it's like something I don't honorific is kind of a bad term, but it's like it's showing like it's weird. It's not like respect, but it's kind of like money is valuable, so they add O in front of it, right? And there's a scene in Tenjo Tenge where the student is fighting the teacher, and the student refers to the teacher as "Oh baka," right, as honorable idiot. And there's stuff like that where the subtitles just don't quite convey all that stuff. So it's nice to get those fan subs, just to address that point.
I mean, that depends on who the sub is, I guess.
We're kind of entering the territory.
FDDNM have found that there's another new feature on the stream for lower thirds. So I'm just going to pretend like it's not there.
I think Augie's subtitle is perfect.
You're kind of going into the big argument with Star Driver when it was released by Bandai Entertainment. A lot of people didn't like the subtitles for it, but preferred the Cold Gals subs instead, because of the reasons that you just described.
Yeah.
Part one's like $800.
Yeah. Do we want to address any of these other comments?
Yes.
So I will say that people were asking about Conqueror of Shambhala. Conqueror of Shambhala is it's part of Full Metal Alchemist, not Brotherhood, but it's also its own separate thing because it's like an out of universe ending. Yeah. And I actually really enjoyed what they did with it. It's a great movie, worth seeing. I wouldn't skip it. Even if you're only going to watch Brotherhood, don't skip it because it's really worth seeing.
Conqueror of Shambhala is just like it might as well. Yeah, I think it's just the sequel. Like, I don't consider it like it's both a sequel and its own thing. No, because it kind of goes back to the original thing in the end, I think.
Yeah, they do something. We shouldn't ruin it for people who haven't seen it. But
I didn't really think the ending satisfied me because the original ending of FMA.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's a very bittersweet ending, but it was a very creative idea. I thought that
I like the first 2/3, but to me the last third was a cop out. Really, that was kind of lazy.
It's been a very long time since I saw it, but I thought that it was a really bold choice where they took the story, and again, it was bittersweet because it takes without giving away too many details, it takes the magic out of it, but in a way that was but there's sort of a sentimental aspect to it that remains that I felt
so you're like missing alchemy and stuff.
And the thing about it, without giving away, is that there was an equivalent exchange in return for what they got out of it. Is that the magic is taken out of the picture, so to speak, but what they got out of it in that sentimental thing, I thought that they were playing off that equivalent exchange thing, which I thought was a really, it was a bold move, and I know why a lot of people don't like it because they prefer to have it the other way, but I thought that it was a really bold choice for the movie, and I thought that it was, because it is a movie, and because for some reason anime movies have this non-canonical aspect to them where they just don't fit in with the actual timeline usually. Like there's so many Dragon Ball Z movies, and the only ones that are actually technically even somewhat canonical are the Dragon Ball Super movies that are released as Dragon Ball Z movies.
And the specials.
Well, the specials are History of Trunks and Bardock, Father of Goku, but those also don't technically necessarily need to be canonical. You know what I mean? Like, I think that for me, like, let's just establish this. For me, all the Dragon Ball Z movies are canonical. I like to just in my head kind of let them be part of the timeline. Same with Dragon Ball GT. People don't really care for it, and there are some aspects of GT that invalidate, like they're contradictory to things that are set up. But if you just go ahead and, there's ways to still enjoy it if you kind of in your head just sort of leave out certain details. And I think that whatever way you can watch a show that provides the most enjoyment for you is the way that you should enjoy the series, right? Yeah. You don't need to get hung up on the details. So for me, I like to just let them all be part of the same thing and just sort of recognize that, this took place during somewhere between this episode and this episode, and I'm just okay with that, Anyway, so do we have any other comments we want to address?
I have something to say.
Go ahead.
Hey, Brotherhood is like the adaptation, the perfect FMA one for me. Well, not perfect because whatever the first parts is a rehash, but like I think it ended up where I wanted it to go. So
originally, the creator said that she wasn't going to make an anime adaptation of the manga. I am so glad she changed her mind.
Well, let me say this. I haven't watched all of Brotherhood, but just for anybody who might be watching the podcast either live or later on when it's the archive version. By the way, something that's really cool, YouTube, I was mentioning how they've updated the streams. Now the chat is actually going to appear in the archived version of the stream. It's going to come up as it did, I guess, the way Twitch handles it, where the live chat will start showing up and you'll be able to see what people were saying during the stream. So anyway, but the thing about Fullmetal Alchemist, just to clarify, is that the first anime actually follows. I think it's up to episode 12. Is around where it is. The manga, and they had to diverge. They catch up to the manga, and the manga creator basically said, "Do whatever you want," right? Because the manga creator didn't want to start rushing and ruining what they were doing, so they said, "Hey, you have free reign. Do whatever you want." So they took the anime in a whole different direction. I think our viewers
know more about this than us. So
okay, but just for anybody who is unaware, they took the anime in a whole different direction. Now, then they made Brotherhood after the manga was completed. Brotherhood has the exact same first 12 episodes, basically, although in the actual anime of Brotherhood, from what I've seen, they don't start it from they don't just replay the first 12 episodes. Right. So, but just so you understand, to get it the best way possible, you would definitely need to see both in order to really get the whole thing. So it's not like people say Brotherhood's better and all that stuff. But look, in order to get the best experience, watch them both. And definitely don't start with Brotherhood. Start with the original and work your way into Brotherhood and enjoy it the way it was released. Because I think that's the best way to experience it.
I mean, you can just skip the first one if you don't care to watch it twice, but yeah, that's up to the person. Yeah. Anyway, I think we should move on from Fullmetal Alchemist.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
For me, for Fullmetal Alchemist.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
What? What's that?
That's my stomach.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
For Brotherhood or for Fullmetal Alchemist, you start with the first one, go to Hughes. When that arc's resolved, go to Brotherhood and continue from Hughes on to the rest, and you'll have the whole manga adaptation.
You missed the other unique parts, but anyway.
Let me ask a real quick question. Reese, you sent me something in the group. Do you want me to add this to the discussion regarding the limited edition? Funimation's new limited editions being thinner. He sent me an article here about
if they reduce the price, I won't be as mad. But
right, well, I'm assuming that. Remember where I was talking about the bubble, how they were inflating the bubble. I think that this is they're going to reduce the price. I'm assuming because it's going to cost them a lot less. Like they're reducing how much it costs them to make them, and they're also going to scale back the price. They're probably not going to scale back the price as much as they could because they have to sort of ride out this bubble that potentially is going to. Cause a problem, but it looks like thank goodness. Again, as we say, this podcast is magic, but it looks like they're taking an effort to prevent a catastrophic potential collapse that could have happened. So anyway,
yeah, because they're few and far between. But let's see. So the next comments.
I'm gonna add this to the.
I think we're caught up to the comments.
Yeah.
Once again,
go ahead.
I think there's. I don't know. I think I saw one before, but I lost it. But
well, if you got
one, go ahead. I'm the only one who is being added.
People are talking to you specifically.
Yeah, at Footnum. Jesus, your collection is huge. Do you not see Brad's? I mean, I'm not saying mine's small or anything, but he's got like. He's already got more bookcases than I have in frame, but anyway, I'll take what I can get.
I'm sure I've actually talked about this before, but I actually
You actually what? I think that cut out for me.
No, it cut out for me too.
Oh, okay.
So we're both talking.
Is he frozen?
Frozen.
He's frozen.
He's frozen. I guess the cold never bothered him anyway. So,
oh my God. In the meantime, I'll address this comment. What is on your shirt at Footnum? I gotta see the preview. Oh my God, the lower third. It's killing me.
You gotta scoot up and back out.
It's a Suicide Silence t-shirt back when the band was good. That's all. Oh God. Almost knocked my mic over. Almost blew up the viewer's ears. But yeah, that's what it is. And your chair looks really comfortable. Yes, it is very comfortable. That's why people pay money for these overpriced-ish chairs. Well, actually, I think they're fair enough price, because if you're going to be a video editor, a YouTuber, you're going to be at the computer for long periods at a time. So you might as well get a comfortable chair. It's a good investment, in my opinion.
I'm looking at the YouTube feed, and I'm only seeing the Lupin face.
The Lupin face?
If you can hear us, please say yes, we can hear you.
I cannot read your title on your 240p feed. Yep. That's exactly what I was saying on the test stream yesterday. I'm like, yeah, my camera's at like 144p. Well, it's 720p technically, but I doubt you can see it. Professionalist. Okay, yeah. Thank you, Lashonsky, for clarifying for Danny.
Well, they can see me. I can see that.
Covered the manga for about 30, blah, blah, blah. We can't see you, Footnum? I think that's because the camera was locked on Augie. Yep, audio is all good for Augie and Footnum.
There you go.
Can hear you. Wow. Can hear you. Yay. You wait, you can't see me?
Nope.
Wait, hold on.
See me.
Oh, are they talking about when I was showing that shirt? Please clarify, Reese.
Oh, this is quite the pickle. How do we
do? Where'd Brad go? The disappearance of Brad.
The disappearance of Brad. Or AC.
Or he, but yeah.
Oh, all right.
Only AC missing in action. Maybe his laptop was unplugged and it ran out of battery. What happened to me?
Case, we wouldn't have this feed still going.
No, it's a hangout. Like the hangout is still existing. No, we can't see you at all since AC dropped off. No, I heard a bling. Oh, that's him messaging me. My internet just died, is what he says.
Well,
Augie, do you have whatever? Is the call still going?
The call's still going.
The stream is going.
Yes.
With the call too.
Let's see.
But
so he says good. Oh joy.
We can only see Augie, but not Footnum. I think it's because it's locked on. No, it's not locked on you. Do you have admin privileges or whatever? Moderation?
I do.
Can you like change the camera so it's on me or something? I don't know.
You know.
Is it on me? Can you look at the live stream thing? Because I'm not playing it, so it doesn't take up my bandwidth.
I think it wouldn't hurt if you looked at the live stream. Screen share, fine. Chat.
Live.
Showcase.
Live. Wait, is the live stream still going? I think I lied to him. Oh, okay. Because it's not playing for me.
I am the only one. Okay, he just rebooted his router. Somebody didn't pay the cable bill.
It's funny you should say that because that's semi-true because he said that he changed his credit card or something and I forget. Did he say the internet was he missed two payments or whatever for it?
I never heard that, but I blame because he's out in the desert and they do funny stuff out there.
Because yesterday he was saying, "Oh, they must be throttling my internet because my card was whatever changed." Because AC had to purchase those 12 Kingdom Blu-rays. He couldn't afford the internet bill.
He can afford the bill. How about we stop talking about his finances on the live stream?
We're not. It's just jokes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. He didn't. Okay, I see now. Went over my head. Ooh. Well,
good. I just rebooted my router, he says.
I read.
Wait, how's he able to send us these messages? Conspiracy.
Well,
it's obviously 3G or something.
As behind the curtain as me and you and him
I'm
were
really
talking.
What?
His phone is unlimited, so he still has satellite, just not local. Or broadband, or whatever you want to call it.
I'm still bothered by how I can't play this damn live stream. Oh, refresh. I guess it doesn't matter since it's not playing anyway. Okay, so I see Augie.
Yep.
I see Augie.
You see me. Let's see. I need to do something here.
I almost want to start the news while he's away, just because we can cover it. I don't know. To get things moving along.
He wants to cover stuff with us as well.
I know. AC watches anime by candlelight. I don't know what that means.
And he wins his hentai by moonlight.
Oh, when he mentioned the wine cellar thing, I was thinking, oh yeah, that's his hentai chamber.